Hi, welcome back to Cooking with Corey. I have a guest today. I have Miss Ashley. She is one of our educators here at Local Matters. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Ashley.
Hi, yes, so I am a food educator here at Local Matters, and I teach little kids all the way to seniors about anything that deals with food. So how to grow your food, how to prepare your food, how to save your food, all things about food. And I go around the city of Columbus, and I go into rec centers, schools, and even corporate spaces to talk about food.
Ashley was one of she came in 2 years ago? Was it 2 years? 3 years?
I think it's been a year now. So I think 2 since I interned.
Yeah. So she interned in our garden. So she worked with Farmer Jesse and did some internship, and now we have her as an educator. So today we're going to be making a Southwestern salad. This is really good. It's Ohio based, so everything you can grow in your gardens. We got tomatoes, we got red peppers, we got some jalapeno, some red onion, corn, black-eyed peas. So those are everything that you can grow here in Ohio, minus the limes. That's probably about it that you probably could not grow here. And of course cilantro, my favorite. Cilantro doesn't smell like soap to you, does it? Okay, good.
It doesn't taste like it either. And you know about the lime? I actually heard one of our co-workers, their grandmother used to have a lime tree in their space in Cleveland.
Nice,
so
nice. See?
You might be able to grow one if you get lucky.
And you probably have to bring that tree in the winter.
Yeah,
maybe.
Probably.
I know lime leaves are really good. So Ashley's gonna tell you what we're putting in our salad today, and I'm gonna chop away.
All right. So our recipe is for the Southwestern salad, and our ingredients call for 1 red bell pepper, which we have.
I'll start with the red pepper.
And then 1/2 of a red onion, 1 can of sweet corn, which we have right here, and our red onions right here. And then it also calls for 2 cans of black-eyed peas, which is in this bowl over here, and 1/4 bunch of fresh cilantro. Got our cilantro here on the board. 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, 1 teaspoon of cumin, and then kosher salt and pepper to taste.
Now, one thing I will tell you, in the season when you have fresh corn, you would just take this off the ear. You would not have to blanch it or cook it or anything. And you can just supplement that with the corn. So we're using canned now because corn, we haven't started harvesting corn in our gardens yet. So that's why we're using canned corn. So I'm gonna start off by chopping our red pepper. So with the red pepper, I like to cut it in half to get all my seeds, grab it out. I flip it on the tough side first because I want to make sure I get a straight through cut. So we're going to start with little strips. After you got your little strips down, you got to turn that to the side where it's all even. Hold it with your pinky and your thumb. And we're just gonna cut down to a nice little, perfect little square. Nice little dice. Voila. And there you go.
All right, so all of these, well, not all of these ingredients, but some of these ingredients were sourced from our Veggie van. And I guess I can share a little bit about what our Veggie van is. So we mainly focus on neighborhoods that don't have a grocery store within a close proximity, so within a close distance. And so we come to those communities, and this is where we have our mobile market, and we sell local produce as well as pantry goods in there. And in the summertime, most of our produce is, I believe it's 70%, right? 70%
Yes.
of our produce is local, and also some of it is sourced from our gardens that we have with our partners around Columbus, Ohio.
And we are actually teaching at one of our sites where we have the garden. Which garden is that?
We are teaching at, there's so many sites. One of them is St. Vincent's.
Yes.
That's one of the sites that we have a garden. And then also Dodge Park Rec Center, that's another one. We have many other ones. I can't think of them off the top of my head right now because we have so many sites. But I guess I can share a little bit about where our stops are. So we have some new stops. On Thursdays, we go to the Bronzeville Growers Market and the Columbus Commons, as well as the Columbus Commons for kids. And then on Tuesdays, we go to Dorian Green, which is located on South Bell Street. So that's where you can come and shop with us directly. You can go on our website, go to local-matters.org, and then type in Veggie Van in the search bar, and then it will pop up. And
yeah, and you can do that online, and we do deliveries.
Yes.
So now we're gonna cut our tomato. I like to cut the top off. So as you see, you always want to keep a flat surface because you don't want your stuff wobbling around and you trying to catch it, and then that's how you end up cutting yourself. So kids, don't cut yourself.
Never try to catch a falling knife. Never.
I caught a falling knife once. Ooh. Right above my knee.
Oh my.
Yeah. I just couldn't let it go. I thought it's gonna break. I don't know what I was thinking.
But you didn't think, oh, it's gonna cut me?
No, that was not in my sights at the time. It was, oh, I'm going to protect this knife. So once we get this diced up, we're gonna throw it in the bowl. So now we have we like to eat the rainbow. So we've got our black-eyed peas, we've got the corn, now we've got some red from our red peppers, and our tomatoes. Ooh.
And our peppers, they're a really nice deep red, and that's a really good sign of how much vitamins are in there. So the darker your vegetable or your fruit, the more nutrients are in there.
Ooh, look at that. Yeah. Look at that. That's an education.
Yeah.
And two, I love, like if red peppers aren't your thing and you want to make it different, please, by all means, you don't have to follow this to the T. If you don't like black-eyed peas, try black beans or pinto beans or any kind of things like that.
Chickpeas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then if you want, you can add chicken or shrimp to this. It's a really good like addition, or put it at the bottom. But today we're gonna just do it as a salad, and we're gonna have it with our chips. That's what we're gonna do. So another thing I'm gonna squeeze these limes. One thing you wanna remember with limes, any kind of citrus that you wanna squeeze, you wanna roll it to get those juices coming out. Another way, if your limes are really hard, you could put them in the microwave for 20 seconds. That's another trick. Don't tell anybody I said that. That's my secret.
Could you also use like not limes, but lemons?
Yeah, you could. If limes aren't, I'm trying to keep that Southwestern theme, so it's very much limes. Lemons are good.
Okay.
I think what you want is the acid kind of to cook the ingredients, kind of cook it down a little bit without cooking it. That's kind of like ceviche.
Oh, okay.
So that's what we want the acid to do to the salad. The salad's also good. Nice summer day, you're just sitting on the porch and you just want to have something nice, crisp. It's got a lot of flavor in it. It also has a lot of different textures. So if you're big on like, oh, I don't like guacamole because it's real mushy, you've got crunch in this salad, so that's really good. Two, we're gonna add jalapenos. So Ashley and I both like spice, so we're gonna keep the seeds in our jalapeno. You don't have to keep your seeds in. This is where the heat is kept. So the longer you keep this in the refrigerator, it's gonna get spicier and spicier. So
I can smell it already.
Yeah. So beware. If you want it spicy, keep the seeds. If you don't want it spicy, you can omit it. If you don't like jalapenos altogether, just put you can put green onions or green peppers in it. You do not have to, I'm not saying you have to make it spicy, but it's nice to make it spicy. So to get this jalapeno up, we're gonna rock it back and forth. We're gonna try to cut those seeds, open up that flavor, open up that spice. So with the cilantro right now, You do not want to chop the cilantro. You want to try to get it like ribbons, because the ribbons are going to keep the flavor. When I start chopping this up and cutting it and recutting it, I'm leaving the flavor on the board, not in the food. So just cilantro is one of those things, because the more you cut it, the more you're losing the flavor where you're cutting it at. So you can see how nice and thin it is. So we want that because that's going to release that flavor for us. So we're gonna put that in there. I'm gonna have Ashley put the olive oil.
Our olive oil and our red wine vinegar. And you can use any other oil. You can use another plant oil, I should say. So you can use like sunflower oil, avocado oil, if you're not a fan of olive oil. But today, that's what we're gonna be using. So I'm just gonna do a nice drizzle. I might add a little more, we'll see. And then a dash of vinegar. You always want your olive oil and your vinegar ratio to be, is it more olive oil and less red wine vinegar? Because if not, it's gonna taste really oily and it's not pleasant.
It's not gonna have that,
that taste. And we're sprinkling some salt on here, and seasoning. Add some, bring the flavors out, and then we got some cumin. And you can use any other seasoning that you like. You can add in garlic powder. You can put in some chili powder in there. Even chili pepper flakes if you like a lot of spice.
You can put some Hungarian paprika, that sweetness to bring it out.
That'll be good.
So you see all those colors and see how
beautiful.
It's really pretty.
So I think we should take a taste just to see how it tastes first before we serve it. To see if we need to add any more salt, vinegar, oil.
So too, you need to, if you are eating it with chips, make sure that you try it with chips so it's not too salty. But if you're putting this with fish or chicken on the bottom, you'll be fine because the meat will have seasoning on it, hopefully. But we're gonna try it with a chip first.
Good.
And because these chips are kind of salty,
It's perfect.
it's perfect. I would, you can actually put this on tacos too. A nice taco base, a nice salsa. So you can change it up. Add more tomatoes, add more onion, whichever. Enjoy cooking.
Yes.